chop wood, okay? I'm not an axe.
Here's a question for you folks. Look at all the things here that are made of wood. You've got tables, you've got chairs, you've got cupboards, barrels, supports, beds, small treasure chests, even these posts here. Now, where did they get all of the wood from? Did they trade with people from the surface for lumber? Did other groups in the Underdark raid the surface for lumber and then trade it to these people for other things? Or is there a special kind of tree that grows in the Underdark that doesn't require wood? Because the Underdark is exceptionally dark. Realistically, Terry shouldn't be able to see down here. You really need dark vision to get about. It makes you think, huh? Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 2, the Enhanced Edition, The Shadows of Arm. And when last we left off, we managed to find the missing child who'd committed the cardinal sin of exploring an area that they weren't familiar with. They saw a strange device and went, ooh, I wonder what happens if I poke it. In this instance, the answer is you get drawn into it and trapped. But fortunately, we figured out how to use this thing, and we managed to free the child, as well as a few other people that tried to kill us, including a lich. Fortunately, we could take care of the lich and the other people that tried to kill us, and there were some people that we could reason with, so we let them go. And we got a reward beyond experience for rescuing the child. We got this pair of braces, a pair of braces that Edwin can identify, and one that I think we've seen before. And we have! These are the Braces of Defense AC4. We got these in Baldur's Gate 1. Sometimes known as Gauntlets of Chainmail, these braces were first worn by Tapit Gornoak. He was still an active warrior at the age of 75. But the weight of his armour was getting harder and harder to bear. A companion, the sorceress Nadalarin, created these braces for him. She also cast a permanent illusion over him so that his men would think he still wore his heavy chain, even when he was asleep. Tapit died 20 years later, his hands wrapped around the neck of an orc chief when old age took him. I'll say one thing, if you're a human and you're still fighting as a warrior at the age of 95, you've done really well for yourself. As for the equipped abilities, AC4. I wonder if that is going to improve Edwin's armor class, and it did. He has an AC of 0 without any buff spells cast on him, and that is exceptionally impressive for a mage. That's like somebody wearing a suit of full plate. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Now let's go do the final thing that we need to here, which is find the book that the wizard we're working with needs. He knows that one of the people here took it, and the only person that we haven't spoken to yet is the innkeeper. So let's have a discussion.
To sit about all day and do it in a proper pub with an ale in my hand.
Corgan, you're in an inn here. I'm sure they can get you an ale, but that's besides the point. De Leyden Stoon Odd Gam. Welcome to my makeshift inn. I say I must, I have not seen your like here in quite some time come. I stand ready to offer quiet of soft beds if you wish. Ask and you shall have, you shall. You haven't run across a lost bit of gear, have you? Belonging to a mage? You find a lot of things in tunnels, you do. There's no harm in picking up what has fallen from dead hands. I do not fault you your scavenging skills. I merely wish to get the book he had. Is that all? I see no problem with you recovering that little slip of pages. For a small fee, you know. I have even kept it separate from what other inventory I might have. A curious read it is. 300 gold too much for your purse? Very well. Take the 300 gold. Then we have a trade, we do. I thank you for your patronage. And while I'm thinking about inns, I should change Edwin's spells up a bit. There is a spell we really should have prepared, and that is Breach. When this spell is cast at a creature, it breaches into spells all of the specific and combat protections on the target creature. Here is a complete list of all the specific protection spells that are dispelled by Breach, and there are an absolute load of them. There's also a huge selection of combat protection spells dispelled, including protection from normal missiles, protection from normal weapons, protection from magical weapons, stone skin, armor, ghost armor, spirit armor, absolute immunity, mantle, and improved mantle. The target's magic resistance, if any, does not affect this spell. We're going to get rid of that spell because, let's face it, I'm not going to use Shadow Door, and we're going to memorize Breach. I also want to forget one of these spells so that I can learn improved haste, but I don't know which spell I want to get rid of. Probably Carrion Summons. Very unlikely I'm ever going to use that, but I'll do that later. It's not going to be important right now. And I just realised that I have an extra slot here that I can use, so I think I'll have protection from magical energy or pierce magic. This will lower the target spell resistance, and it also does something else too. Let's see. A 1 protection spell of 8th level or lower will be cancelled. That's pretty good.
What is it?
We'll have that ready as well.
Yes.
Let us see if we can use your services. And you have all kinds of rooms available. We could spend 16 gold and have a truly luxurious experience at an equally exorbitant price. Beds filled with the softest down, draped with the finest Kalasham silks and linens, nearly as restful as a week in a lesser room, though who but royalty could afford the cost? We can. Brilliant.
Yes.
Now let us go to where that wizard is. The wizard is over here, and there's a good chance that Terry is going to get trapped behind everyone else, and she was. But I think we can move her so she can get around. And there we go. She's now around. We'll have her zoom over to here at the speed of haste.
Yes.
And that is quite a fast speed, but Corgan is already miles ahead of you. You're nearly there. It's a good thing there weren't any random encounters along the way, otherwise Corgan would have had to have dealt with them by himself. To be fair, Terry wasn't far behind, and Corgan could have probably taken care of himself just fine. Where's everyone else? They've only just left the Sverfneblin settlement. They don't have too far to go. Now that we have the book, we can go and talk to Vithal, and he can begin the thing that he's been preparing for, which involves these 3 portals. That one, I think, is the last portal that he has to fiddle around with. This one's first, and that one is second. Now that we're all here, let us save and position ourselves for combat, because there's going to be quite a bit of combat. Not here specifically, but in this general area. There's only going to be one fight here. Let's say hi, and say that we've got the book.
If that's what you want.
My work goes well, though there is only so much I can do without it.
I have found your book of rituals. Here, have it back. Thank you. This will prove a profitable venture yet, I assure you. Now to the dangerous bit. There will be 3 gates I must enter. There will be a guardian in each, and it will not be pleased to see us. I will lure each one through in turn. Be ready with your defenses. A guardian? What kind of guardian? Whose treasure is this that you seek? I do not know the nature of the guardians, or who placed them there. I imagine the place was a safehold of a mage from ancient times, but I cannot be sure. Curiosity has driven me crazy to find out what is in there. I regret placing you in harm's way, but I cannot fight the creature while maintaining the spell. I will pay you well with a share of what I find, I assure you. Then perform your rituals. I am ready. Very well. Let the walls between dimensions yield to me. Let the ether be made solid, that a mortal man may pass. The magic has brought forth this greater earth elemental. Fortunately, we're in a good position to protect Vithal, because Vithal will be targeted by the elemental and can take damage, and can in fact die.
Now the way is clear for the first gate. Close to our goal. Wish me luck.
Good luck! And off Vithal goes. We got 10,000 experience, and now we just wait. Vithal is through the portal, examining the strange place that is beyond. Vithal won't be long. It's quite dangerous over there. I hope he comes back in one piece. And here he comes.
Well, that was unpleasant. I cannot survive on the other side very long, which is appropriate, I suppose.
I have acquired some of the trove, but more awaits. Come to the fire gate. Well, that doesn't sound encouraging at all. Who wants to bet that we're going to be fighting a giant fire elemental that's the guardian of this place? Chances are high.
I'm waiting. Nothing to it.
Where is the
Replace may with definitely does. And there it is! And surprising no one, it's a greater fire elemental that beelines straight for Vithal. Vithal took some damage. Now I shall enter the fire portal. And off he goes again! Another 10,000 experience, and more waiting. Imagine if he never came back. The party would be waiting for quite a while. Eventually I imagine Korgan and Ebun would get bored, and they'd get the party to leave. We do have what we need to progress the main plot, but it always pays to do side quests beforehand.
Another portion of the prize is ours. Come now to the air elemental gate.
Alright, let's go. And that one is, as I said, over here. And if anyone is wondering what alignment Vithal is, if you do cast Detect Evil, Vithal is most assuredly evil. Just something that I discovered when I played through the game as a paladin. I was just curious, and everybody got absolutely stuck there for some reason. Now I'm going to save after the fight with the Guardian here.
One more trip and we shall have all there is to have. A pity I could not have known the mage that secreted these things away. They would have made a powerful friend.
Something killed them. I wonder what. I wonder if it was linked to the portals. Or just a different mage that got jealous of their power. Again, I ask for your well wishes as I pass beyond. Again, you must face the Guardian first. Here comes the Guardian! Not surprisingly, it is a greater air elemental. We can deal with this air elemental. Also, why are you attacking in melee? Now I shall enter the air portal. And off he goes, and now we need to get ready. For what? Oh, you'll see. We're going to Simulacrum here. We are then going to cast Haste. We are then going to cast Protection from Evil 10 feet. After, of course, you have berserked, and you have berserked as well. There we go, lots of haste here. Protection from Evil 10 feet is there. Brilliant.
Have you nothing
We
else
could
to do but
also
bother
do
me?
with... actually, I don't think we could do with anything else here. I think we're as
Who's
ready
done
as we'll ever
most?
be, but a Bless might be nice. Actually, there is one more
Yes,
thing you could
master.
cast. How
What should I fetch
about
now?
a... There we go. Resist Fear. Just in case. There we go. You can back up. You can back up as well.
Yes.
You can
Oh,
also back
alright.
up and become invisible. And here comes Vithal.
I return. Ah! It's good to have the prime material under my feet. There is beauty on the other side, but it is not my own.
And you, my friend, my helpful stranger, I am true to my word. You shall receive your due, just as I have promised. There, I trust you will be satisfied with this potent item. I have only taken a brief look at it, but I am sure it is worth the pains we took. A small portion of the whole amount, but worthy of your service. A small portion? We did all of the fighting protecting you here. I think we deserve a little more. That's it? Some simple rod? After the risk I took? I believe that I took the majority of the risk in this venture. I was the one that traversed the plains, you know. Still, if you are so insistent, I suppose that I could up your reward a bit more, though I reserve the right to take the majority for myself. There, a couple of the spell scrolls that were there. That must suffice, as I will give no more.
That is still not enough. We must ask for more. Dawn, we must press our claim here, Terry. We did all of the dirty work protecting him. We deserve more, an equal share at least, more.
And I must refuse your request. I have been more than reasonable, and yet you demand more. What I have given will suffice, or we will face each other in battle.
I deserve it all! Hand it over!
I expected as much from a stranger in the Underdark. Very well, let us raise our weapons and spells and settle our feud. I regret it has come to this. And now he is aggressive. We are going to have everybody attack with their weapons, and when the defensive spells appear for Vithal, and they will, we're going to have Edwin cast Breach. Breach should deal with all of those protective buffs. There we go, most of them are gone, and Vithal is gone. If you don't deal with those protective buffs and whittle down his health quickly, he will cast Time Stop, he will cast Gate, and you will have to deal with a Pit Fiend. Fortunately, we have Protection from Evil to mitigate the risk with the Pit Fiend. The rest of it we weren't as well prepared for. If he's capable of casting Time Stop, he's also capable of casting things like Imprisonment. But we now have all of the goodies. We have this helmet. We have Time Stop, Wail of the Banshee, and an Incendiary Cloud scroll. Time Stop is fantastic. Upon casting a Time Stop spell, the wizard causes the flow of time to stop for 1 round in the area of effect. Inside the sphere, the caster is free to act for 3 rounds of apparent time. The wizard can move and act freely within the area where time is stopped, but all other creatures are frozen in their actions, for they are literally between ticks of the clock. The spell's duration is subjective to the caster. Nothing can enter the area of effect without being stopped in time also. When the spell's duration ceases, the wizard is again operating in normal time. Note that all spells cast during the time stop will take effect immediately after time returns to normal. So if you happen to fire tons of fireballs, make sure you're far away from them when they actually start flowing through time again. We also have Wail of the Banshee. At the culmination of this dreadful spell, the wizard screams like a banshee, groaning spirit. Everyone in the area of effect hears the awful cry. Those who fail a saving throw versus death die instantly. The caster and companions are immune to the effects of the wail, which is very fortunate. As for this item, this is the Skull of Death. The mad necromancer lich Naashtar Nicodemus forged this helmet from the bones of his own parents. His highest-ranked general would wear it when he rode into battle, using it to instantly slay the commanders of the opposing army. After that, the skeletal armies of Naashtar would overrun their demoralized enemies. When Naashtar finally fell, the Skull of Death was supposedly destroyed. It was not destroyed. It's now ours. Which begs the question, did Nithal find it in the portals beyond, or did Nithal always have it? Equipped abilities, protection from critical hits, makes sense, it's a helmet. Charge abilities, death spell once per day, slays creature with fewer than 9 hit die, range 50 feet, area of effect 15-foot radius. That is just a once per day, kill something with 9 or less hit die. Now, unfortunately, we don't have anyone who can really take advantage of this at the moment because everybody is wearing something that raises their AC, or, in the case of Korgan, gives them simulacrums. But we will keep it on hand just in case we happen to require something that nasty. We can go into this bag. We also got this rod, the original reward for helping Vithal. This is a Rod of Absorption. It is very powerful, he wasn't lying, it's a pretty potent thing. This rod acts as a magnet, drawing magical spells of any nature, priest or wizard, into itself. It then nullifies their effects. The magic absorbed must have been directed at the caster possessing the rod. To activate this absorption ability, the user must use the wand, after which time they will be protected for 4 rounds or until the absorption disappears. The rod will absorb 9 levels of spells and can defend against spells up to 9th level in power. Each use of the rod expends 1 charge. This is a limited use item, but it's still pretty handy. We could have you hold on to it, but I think right now I want you to put it in the bag. I'm sure we'll have use for it at some point. We do have lots of nice spells, though, including Abidalzim's Horrid Wilting. This spell evaporates moisture from the bodies of every living creature within the area of effect, inflicting 1d8 damage per level of the caster. Affected creatures are allowed a saving throw versus spell for half damage. This spell is especially devastating to water elementals and plant creatures, who receive a penalty of -2 to their saving throws. This spell will not harm party members, which is very fortunate. And it's another spell that Edwin doesn't know. A Simulacrum, though, we most certainly know it. This is a source for the spell, outside of buying it. Now let us sort out our level ups, because Korgan is 1 level higher, and can get 1 more point in Warhammer. We've been putting a lot of skill points into this, and are not really using the weapon type that often. It'll pay off once we manage to get the weapon that I hope we'll be able to assemble. High Master means that we receive +3 to hit, +4 to damage, 1 more than Master, -1 to speed factor, and that extra half attack per round. Makes him really devastating. And let us level up Hexat. We have no proficiency points here, but we do have lots of skill points here. I don't think we need to really raise this too much more, but we'll put 5 points in, why not? We'll also put a little bit into Move Silently and Hide in Shadows to make that 100 each, and then I think... Actually, we'll put 5 more points into Pickpocket, and 1 more into Move Silently. Marvellous.
I'm busy, okay? I'm busy.
I know you're busy, Edwin. You've got lots of scrolls to read. We'll get all of those learnt for next time. And so, when we come back, folks, Edwin's got a lot of stuff to study, and we don't have that much more of this part of the Underdark to explore. We mainly have this area over here. We can get there quite easily, but once we're there, there's no guarantee we're going to be safe at all. There's still lots of peril in our future, and we don't have Simulacrum Korgan to help us deal with it. Alas, but what can you do? And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.